Let's freaking go, baby. Let's take a look at this. Let's go. We are live. What is up, everybody? Can you hear me? Can we all hear each other? All right. So today we are going to be making Wixo maps because let me show you all something really quickly. Here I have like my Wixo maps. It's okay, Shadow Realm. It'll be okay. But here are all my Wixo maps. I have all of them except 14 to 33. So that is what we are here to make. Because this is 13. So I'm going to have to go back to my videos. I'm going to have to find like the frickin' end screen of my Wixo maps. And I'm going to take that. I'm going to use that to make maps because you guys want my maps. So we're just going to go ahead and satisfy all of you. So I am going to, let's see. So let's view the best channel in the world. This guy, you might not know him. Pretty underrated, but hello, Jesus Christ, get that off my screen. Here we are. We're gonna have to go to episode 14 because that is the okay. Shut up. This before I had members. All right. So hide this. So this is what we need to do because as you can see. This dude. Okay, so that's... Oh, interesting. That's where we get the Americas. So, I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Even him. And then... go ahead and recreate that map. Oh, wait. I haven't been talking to chat. What's up, chat? So, you have to save that as 14. And now we can edit this to become 14. I'll get the gist. Jesus Christ. All right. So it's not really going to be much of a stream where it's just going to be a chill stream where we're just chilling. I have to update my Wixo maps, and you guys like it when I go live. So, at least I think I do. Do you guys like it when I go live? I could just do this on my free time. But if you guys like it, then I will do it. Hello, everybody coming into chat. What is up, everybody? So here's how this will work. You just gotta like copy what's here. I don't know how the undiscovered land expanded, but that's okay. So it's like Carthage went down here. Interesting, interesting. Oh, actually, screw that. Alright, interesting, interesting. So we can go ahead and draw that in. Not the entire thing. Don't need all of that. This is where the northern Italians come in. What is up, northern Italy? But you do not take all of that. You are also going to lose that. And it looks like we divided up Central Europe. So this also does mean that it's probably going to be like strange when the actual, what's it called? Like the maps diverge, because of course somebody else made a whole bunch of maps for me, and that's kind of what I'm basing this off of. So no, not the entire Nordics. This is kind of where I went on a rampage filling in all of Europe, so this is where the series pacing might be a little strange. What's up, everybody? I know how you all yearn for viewer Wixo. It is just that we are doing this right now, because this is something important that I need to do. Forgot that the Baltic states used to be actually like strong. Right, they moved their capital all the way up here. I don't think I had major cities yet, no. Okay. Do a little something like that, and we can give this over there. And what is that looking like? Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Look at that. We're already on our way. Wow, this episode was really uneventful other than the discovery of the Americas. So how about we just do that? Because that is also pretty important. Now, this isn't going to be 100% accurate, but like, who cares, dude? Come on. We got the goats, Portugal, and France. France had their little thing up here. They had their rivalry, but now they have bid their dues because they're all part of a union now, so that is good for them. But then these guys took the Bahamas. What do I mean by making maps? Basically, I'm making, for anybody that just came here, let me see how many people are in the stream. All right, cool. So basically, what I'm doing is that I'm making my historical Wixo maps because there are some people that want all my Wixo maps, and I want to give them the historical Wixo maps. It's just I don't have the historical Wixo maps, so that is what I am trying to do right now. So, yep, this is for you guys. All right, so it looks like what else happened? Nothing. Well, nothing really happened. Well, so let's go ahead and do that. These guys expanded a bunch. Look at that. Look at them. Do I have to go back? And okay, here's something annoying that might happen. When I was a young lad, was a little bit stupid and didn't show the entire screen. So I can't see if something happened in certain areas, which is kind of annoying, but it's okay. Also, I don't know why that lake was in the wrong place. But I think... Oh, this is where we saw the alliances come into play. Right. What's up, everybody? Augusto, can I get mod? No, sorry. You cannot get mod. Kind of weird to think that Iberia was allied with Carthage. It's also kind of weird to think that Greece was powerful at one point, and even allied with Croatia. Weird times, weird times. So what else? There's a diamond. The brown team. The brown team was kind of a dick, not gonna lie. What map are we doing? Right now, I'm making episode 14. Because I have to. Go. Throughout my...
It's starting.
Okay, shut up, me.
Quite long. And these guys are really long, so someone ought to stop them, and that is like too much. It's pretty insignificant. Yeah, North Natural Aztec, they're going to Hokkaido.
So that's what that looked like. Alright, alright. So, I see, I'm going to be doing research. There's research in these videos, because now my stupid bum never saved the maps, which I don't know why I didn't. It's kind of stupid, but there we go. That is all of that happened in episode 14, it looks like. Oh, also capital. Right there. Was there anything else? Oh yeah, Northern Italian Union. Not Northern, just Northern Italians. I think that's it. I think that is episode 14 map done. So we can go ahead and get rid of that. Wait a minute. I just really gotta make sure. Ah, I see an anomaly. Saw this movie yesterday called Exit 8. It's pretty good. Y'all wanna know what Exit 8 is? It's like the Japanese game. Like the game Exit 8. Okay. You guys not know the... You know the Japanese game Exit 8. Oh, the stream health is bad. Alright, so I'm gonna just be chilling here. We're just chilling here. Wow, 0 people. I reached a new low. Maybe I should call some people over on Discord. Alright, I have to do something to make this entertaining. Because the stream health right now is horrible. It quite literally says there's 0 people here. Alright. What's up, guys? How are we doing? I gotta do something. Yeah, 1 watt. It's not good. That really isn't good. Should we just do a viewer Wixo? Like, honestly. Because I can do this at a different time. Definitely. Like, we could just low-key do viewer Wixo. Alright. Sure, we're doing viewer Wixo. Let me just make the thumbnail for it really quickly. This is the thumbnail making process. If anybody was interested. No one is probably interested, but still cool to think about. On the thumbnails, there are just so many little black dots. I don't like it, so. probably killing hundreds of thousands of people right now. But who cares? It's a thumbnail. Like, who's up here in Svalbard? Or whatever it's called. Wait, there are people that live in Svalbard? Do not care. Okay, hold up. Y'all gotta chill. I'm not doing it yet. If you make a suggestion, it's gonna get backed up by other people making suggestions, so just calm down. Let's all chill a little bit. Cause I'm just making the thumbnail right now. I'll make the Wixo maps later. You guys see Ender M's video where he ranked Wixos? That was a good video. I didn't think it was a good video because it got A, but you know. I also saw this movie called Vivarium. It's kind of disturbing. No, I don't want that part. You guys get to see my files. I'll probably just save this so I can. All right. Just give me a quick sec. Watch, everyone's gonna come flooding in once I change the name and title to Viewer Wixo. I actually like that font. Are we doing that? Actually, no. Turn that down. Sorry, I'm gonna just do this for a little bit because I like my thumbnail. I like to look back at my thumbnails and say, hey, that's a good thumbnail I made. Alright, there we go. Oh no. Sorry guys, just give me a quick second. This is being really annoying, so. Just give me un momento. Who's ready for Viewer Wixo? Man, this is pissing me off. This also must be a bit frustrating for you guys. I apologize. So I will try to hurry it up. Then we can go here. Almost done. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm good with that thumbnail. Sorry, let me just do something real quick. All right, watch. Just gotta do one thing really quickly. All right. I think we're good. There it is. Okay. So I've changed the tides. We are now doing viewer Wixo, which is always fun. Where are we starting? Where are we doing it? Because it's got to be somewhere here. Alright, no. Here is how we're going to do this. Basically, alright guys, chill. My camera angle's weird. Lower my chair. My camera angle is very strange. Because I moved my camera. Alright, chill. Stop spamming. First of all, we have to decide like where we're starting because I'm not just dotting nations on the map. That's gonna be too hard to keep up with. So we're just gonna make like an actual Wixo, but you guys help me make it. My camera angle is still very strange. Alright. Nice. Alright, let me add a poll. Start. Thank you, Rome Wixo, for being a member for 4 months. Where should we start? East Asia, Mesopotamia, and I don't think I spelled Mesopotamia correctly. There we go. and I don't know, frickin' Carthage. Perfect. So, thank you, Lachlan Mapper, for being a member for 3 months. Where are we starting the viewer Wixo? So we have Carthage, East Asia, and Mesopotamia as our sort of options. So, this is like where the red team is going to be, I guess. Damn, 22 votes. Pretty good. Looks like right now we have a majority going for Carthage, but I am going to let it marinate for a little bit. Hate my retainer. All right. Looks like, so basically this is just like we're gonna do a consolidated Wixo. Like, it's not gonna be like, oh, that some guy wants a nation in India that's southern India in blue. Some guy wants an orange Yucatan country. We're not doing that. That's boring for me. Not gonna lie. How was my day? I don't know how to pronounce your name, but Purple A. Thank you. I am having a good day. You guys always beg for viewer Wixo, so it's that time of the month. That time of the year, actually. Because we are doing the viewer Wixo. Yeah, baby. So it looks like a majority of you guys wanted to start in Carthage. So that is what we're going to be doing. With 24 votes, surprising, 42% of people want in Carthage, which, sure, yeah. Go ahead and start it in Carthage. Let me reiterate, we're not doing the nations scattered about the map. That is boring. Not gonna lie. So we're doing consolidated. You are red Carthage? No, you're not. You guys are gonna help me decide what to do with nations. You're not gonna be nations. Because a person cannot embody a nation. Because a nation has to have people. So a person cannot be a nation, so. Sorry, that was disturbing. Alright. So it looks like you guys want it over here in Carthage. So that is where it will be starting. So this is sort of giving me flashbacks to when I did my Wixo shorts. They're still up. I might take them down, but we are having our nation in Carthage, which is always nice. Carthage, what a good place. So a group of people will come over from Africa, but instead of going that way, they're just going to come this way, and they're going to settle over here. Don't know why, but they are, and they're going to make a red country, because all countries must be red. Actually, no, let's get creative. We're not doing a red Carthage. We'll make it gold. Is that gold? Alright, wait. This Loki might be stealing, but I am going to... I am going to take the gold color from Gold Ukraine in Ada's Pros Wixo. Did that... Oh, it literally is. Alright. So. Damn, Fewer Wixo did not work to get people here. Alright, you know what? So these guys, they're pretty nomadic, so they're actually not going to be staying here for very long, and that is how we're going to get more nations. Now these guys are going to be pretty navally active, but a group of them is going to go along here, and they are going to go over here to Gibraltar, kind of, not really, but they're going to get there. And this group, like I said, these people are nomadic, so once they get over here, they're not going to claim it for Carthage. No, no, no. They're going to be claiming it for a new country. I saw a suggestion for Lime, Morocco, so we are going to be making Lime, Morocco, because why the hell not? Alright. Actually, do I want this, or do I just want to color everything gray? Alright, wait. I think I just want to make everything gray. Alright. Spam O in the chat if you want this, but spam P in the chat if you want it to be like that. Spam O for just like the regular conventional Wixo, so it would be something like that, not that. Something like this. Or if you guys want it to be like the shadow thing. P for this, O for the simple thing. The simple thing is better, not gonna lie. Yo, stop. Don't spam. Put your thing in like once, maybe. I don't know. Not gonna lie. Yes, you should start your own Wixo. Actually, you know what? I'm overriding. I think we're doing this. So, like, this is easier because I don't want to go from layer to layer. So, make a poll. Maybe just make a poll. See, that would be good, but I'm using my creator powers to... Yeah. My camera is really strange right now. I don't know why I have it over here. Yes, I have my camera duct taped to my computer. Let it go. I am one with the wind and sky. I think that should be good. Hey, the camera angle is back and good again. I think. I don't know. This is being extraordinarily annoying. Like me. Alright. Alright. So after the discovery of the Moroccan nation, the gold guys are not going to be very happy. And when they do that, they're actually not going to care. Well, they're not happy, of course, but they're still going to expand because they have a very large population. So they're going to need to expand to do that. So once they do that, they get pretty big. And eventually they're going to start to expand not for population, but for like just being big. And also fish. That's something you need to know. Fishing is a very big business over here in Carthage. So there are going to be a lot of fishers, and that means that a lot of them are going to be prone to, going away by cyclones and typhoons. One is going to bring a group over here to Sardinia. One is going to bring them over here to the boot of Italy. And the other is going to bring them over to Catalonia. Now, these people all think that they're in, like... These people don't know where they are. Like, they don't know they're on an island, they don't know they're on a peninsula, and they don't know they're on a continent. So, these guys, assuming that they're completely screwed and stranded, are going to treat their landing areas like their new homes. So, this group will get to work discovering Sardinia and Corsica. This group will get to discovering the southern boot of Italy, which they are doing quite successfully. And these people, they're just living here. They haven't established nations quite yet, but the Catalonians are going to be some of the most successful moving throughout these areas, though they cannot move, well, they pretty much can't move beyond this point because of the Pyrenees. But now is the point where all of these guys in their discovered areas are going to start to settle down. So I'm seeing suggestions for a purple Sardinia and an orange boot of Italy, so let's do that. We got purple Sardinia. This is going to be a nation because there was a guy here, and the guy that is like the king, the monarch here, he's like power hungry, I guess. So, there's always going to be somebody. Over here, same thing. Literally in like an identical situation to what happened over in Sardinia. And then we're going to have a blue Catalonia, but interestingly not red. There's no red yet. So this is what our civilizations are looking like right now. The blue guys are going to discover the Balearic Islands, and eventually these guys are going to discover the entire boot of Italy. And keep in mind, these orange guys don't know about anything. Like, according to them, this is everything. According to the purple guys, this is everything. According to the Carthaginians, though, this is everything. The Carthaginians know that these guys exist, but these guys do not know what the Carthaginians are. So when they discover Sicily, and they send some people down, they look out, and they see Carthage. They see a city, they see other people, and this is where the orange team will establish the first sort of colony in history over here in Sicily. Sardinia still thinks they're stationary everywhere, so they're going to get some people up here in Genoa, and this is where they're going to colonize a little bit of Genoa, so there you go. And the Catalonians will get the Balearic Islands, there we go. Alright. So now what? What happens now? Orange team expands into Slovenia? Sure. So the orange team, I know this area of Italy is very geographically challenging, but the orange team is going to be Sigma, Ultimate, Mu, whatever. They're going to expand up the Italian peninsula, and basically what their goal is that they want all of this water. So they're going to expand up here, going along the coast of Venice, and eventually wrapping around here to Croatia. And this is where they learn of the existence of the purple dudes. So they're actually going to work together with the purple dudes, and eventually the entire Italian peninsula will be discovered, and a good portion of the coast of Croatia. At this point, the orange team will establish a colony right there, and they're going to wrap it around the Adriatic Sea, expanding into Slovenia. Red France. Dude. It's giving the old viewer Wixo. But the lime guys. What have the lime guys been doing? They have been expanding down the coast of Morocco, because that is what they're doing. So they're going to try and establish themselves, sort of mirroring the government structure of the Carthaginians, and they're going to do a pretty good job. They're expansionists for population, then they're going to be expansionists for fishing, all of that stuff. And eventually, they're going to learn about the Catalonians as well. They're going to give themselves a little bit of territory down here in Andalusia. But I think it's time we had our first violent war. So, how's this war going to break out? Well, it is going to be between the purple team and the Carthaginians. Now, the purple team has just learned about the Carthaginians. Basically, they just learned that they are from Carthage. They are like the fishing people. And as Carthage is expanding along the coastline, they are not aware of the purple team. So they're going to land a little ship. And this ship is going to land in southern Sardinia. Now, southern Sardinia is going to take that as war. And there's going to be a little massacre, a little killing that happens over there. And this is the first war between an island nation and the first ever country. Now, it's not going to do anything because, well, it's just going to be a naval battle. But all you need to know is that the Carthaginians are going to win the naval battle. And through this and diplomacy, they're going to be able to take this in order for the war to stop. Now, the orange team, obviously, would be helping out the purple team, but the orange team right now has to, take control of their own bearings. They're just colonizing territory in their borders, and they're also trying to, colonize a whole bunch of these people up here, the Celtics, not the Celtics, whatever these guys are called. You recommend lavender, Mesopotamia, 0 people. Oh my god, my analytics. Okay. So, here's what's going to happen. The orange team is so dead set on expanding. Remember I was telling y'all about these people up here? Basically, these people don't like the orange team. And they see that the orange team is about to colonize them. So, what are they going to do? Basically, they're going to go up here, and they're going to go over here to the border of undiscovered land. And they're going to start to move down. Now, this is kind of like in It Is Pros Wixo when Korea, they went all the way around India and East Asia, and they settled in Korea. The same sort of concept is going to be applicable here, but they're going to spew out, and they're going to get over here to Macedonia, where they're going to establish themselves a little bit of a nation right over here in Thessaloniki. So they do that, and we have the red country. Though they are not the first, they're going to be very powerful in the future. But of course, all groups are going to have defiance within them, and there is going to be a political party within this group that's not going to like the red team. So what are they going to do about that? Well, they are going to break away from the red team. This is the first violent mainland war we've ever seen. This is the red team civil war. But the red team is actually going to be quite successful in putting these guys down and limiting them to the southern areas here. Now they're going to be able to make peace, and we have a very small country here. But their people are going to go down here to Athens. Purple Athens. They're also going to discover all this. And all of Crete. So, there we go. Now we have a good number of nations. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 nations on our map. That's pretty good. Now, over here in Sardinia, they're not doing too well. They just lost a war with Carthage, and they are having some economic struggles. Their country is not doing very well. So there's going to be an area of their country that is pretty, like, in the far reaches that is going to break away. That is going to be Genoa. So Genoa is going to formally break away from the Sardinians, and the Sardinians are kind of sad. They're like, their country, which was kind of strong at one point, is not very strong anymore. So Sardinia is not very happy. So they're just going to let this go, and the Genoese, is that how you say them? The Genoese, they are going to expand. Very nice. Now, whoever's saying stop spamming Brown Netherlands. Don't spam. No one likes it when you spam. Now, like I said earlier, the orange and the purple guys are allies. They like each other. So, by the means of this, you guys can guess what we're doing. They are making an official alliance. This is going to be the Triangle Alliance. Now, is it in the best interest of the orange team to be in an alliance with a struggling country over here? It is actually pretty useful. I'll make it clear why in a second. But this is the first alliance we ever see. The Triangle Alliance between Orange Italy and Purple Sardinia. And Orange Italy is finally going to get on top of colonizing those northern Italian peoples. And they are going to do a pretty good job, though they're not able to get through the entire thing. But this is looking pretty good. We got our people over here. But here's what's going to happen. These blue guys, let me tell you, they are very economically dependent on the back of slavery. Now, it's kind of like the CSA in the Civil War, but these guys are, bringing people from the far reaches of Andalusia. They're taking Andalusians that have settled here, which are, I guess, ethnic Moroccans, and they're enslaving them. Now, these slaves, a very small group of them, about 50 of them, are going to, escape during the night, and they are going to be, they're going to try and get away. So this group of people is going to be a long and treacherous journey. Now, the blue team, they, like the farmers that were enslaving those people, they don't really care because they can just bring more people. But this group that was formerly slaves, they are going to keep going up, and eventually they're going to get over here to Normandy. Now, when they see the coastline, they're like, hey, how about we establish a country? Which any sane person would do that. So after they discover a whole bunch of land up here, they are going to establish their own nation, aka the Dark Green Team. A Dark Green Team. There might be more. Now, with the absence of that group, it is going to inspire something inside the blue team. Basically, all of the slaves, there's going to be a slave uprising. Or a whole bunch of slaves are going to uprise in the country. It's going to be like in the far reaches. And these guys are going to be able to assassinate the leader, and they're going to be able to take control of the country. Now, this country was not very economically developed. They weren't very good off. So they are going to try and expand and make the Catalonians great. So they're going to do that by expanding over here to the Bay of Biscay. Now, why are they doing this? Well, basically, they're trying to get out here and see what's out here because, of course, fishing, all that stuff, all that good stuff. So Catalonia is going to start to expand its borders out into the mainland of Iberia, and this comes with rapid expansion. So that's your little Catalonia up. Sorry, I have hiccups. That's your little Catalonia update, though. But over here in Greece, the red team, they're going to be doing some stuff over here. They are going to be some very good explorers. Now, you know, these are the people from northern Italy. They got here by exploring. So they're just going to make those aspects of them sort of applicable to the situation that they're in. They're going to expand, getting over here to the Strait of Marmara. Once they do that, they're going to colonize the western areas of Thrace. Now, this is very good for them. Also, this is pissing me off. Like all the little gray dots. I don't like it. It looks like it has some sort of disease. Alright, it's a bit better. Now, these purple guys, they are going to expand down here into southern Greece. Now, why would they want to expand to southern Greece? Well, they just do. So, good for them. Seafoam, Dutch, and Brown Galicia. Sure. So how about I make a story for these guys? So, these guys, they're just going to be a group of explorers. I'm kind of just ripping the plot from how these guys were born, but they are going to explore. They're going to get over here to the Netherlands. They're going to be like, hey, deja vu? Maybe. So, they're going to settle down. I'm sorry, Dean J Games, but they're going to be seafoam green, which is debatably the best color. Now we also are going to make another country. I think it was Brown Galicia, so this is just going to be actually like an ethnic group of people that is going to start their own thing. Do we have any brown? No, we don't have any brown yet, so there we go. Now these guys are going to be discovered by none other than the Moroccans. And eventually, screw it, Iberia is discovered. Very cool. Iberia is going to become a haven for these countries. We're going to have this brown team expand very rapidly. These guys are some big expansionists. They're expansionists. So they're going to do that. They're going to take all of that territory. And eventually, the Lime team is going to discover something that a lot of these countries should have discovered before. Coastline equals economic good. Equals economic goodness, I guess. Eventually, Catalonia will discover that as well. And I'm also just trying to fix these borders up because they look pretty horrible. Not saying that this is going to be anything special. Oh, that's bad. That's fine. Alright, Genoa. What is Genoa doing? Well, they finally discovered the entire western area of the Mediterranean Sea, which is pretty good. But they are going to continue to move up here into Switzerland before they hit the Alps. Eventually, they are just going to expand along the coast. They are the ones that really get the memo that coastline equals good economy after the Moroccans. Eventually, the red and the purple guys are going to divide up Greece. Sadly for the purple guys, though, they are going to be cut off as the red team aims to get Albania. Eventually, they're going to go up north. Also, can we just talk about how Sigma Albania is, just like in general? Because come on. Alright. Sorry that all felt a little bit rushed, but this is just so we get the basis of our civilization. So now I can take in a little bit of your guys' suggestions. Alright. A revolutionary force starts up in Carthage, becomes a dictatorial nation, and becomes very expansionist. Sure. So let me make a story for these guys. Basically, Carthage has been pretty stationary over the past couple of decades. All of these countries have flourished, and the Carthaginians have not. And some people are starting to feel like, hey, Carthage is lacking behind. So a force is going to rise up in the capital, which I should probably add capitals. But this is not going to be like a, little rebellion. It's not going to be like, oh, yeah, you need to get on top of that. It's going to be like, oh, you need to get on top of that, because look at that. Sardinia just retook their claims. So these guys are really starting to crumble. And in the absence of, I guess, control in the country will dissipate. There is no more country. So, with the absence of the country, that leaves these maroon people to expand in the place of Carthage. So now, these guys are expansionist. You're happy, Red Team Wixo. Now, we can go ahead and add some capitals. So Morocco, theirs is right on over here. These guys up in the left. These guys down there. Sardinia, obviously, in southern Sardinia. I think I should put it right there. Rome will have theirs over here. The red team over here. Purple team over here. These guys right on over there. These guys over here. Then the yellow guys. Gonna change their color because... Jeez. Boom. There we go. You can't see that. Alright, actually, what we'll do. There we go. Now we have all of our countries with the capitals. We have their relations. Oh, wait. Right. Carthage. It's not going to be here, because that would be the old capital. They want to signify something new. So they're going to put their capital right there. But going back up here to Normandy, they are going to start to discover areas inside of Brittany. They are going to really just, like, discover all of this. It's not the best place to live, but, you know, you just gotta make do with what you have. So, the green team will be expanding over here into Brittany. Now, all of these people, remember, they were slaves over here in the Catalonians, which got them from Andalusia. So, it's pretty interesting to see how the ethnicities arise out of all this. Like, these guys are Andalusian, technically. These guys are Northern Italian, even though they're in Greece. Pretty interesting stuff. Kaiki, Sicily. What's Kaiki? Oh, khaki. Jeez. Kaiki? What is Kaiki? Khaki. They break away. Now, would Rome do something? Not Rome. Would Orange Italy do something about this? Probably. Will they? No. Wanna know why? Convenience to the plot. There we go. Black Serbia. Why would you want a nation on a map where the coastline is black? Where the nation is black. Like, if I make a black country, if somebody invades them, oh, they're also invading the coastline. So I just don't understand. I don't see why you would do that. Saw somebody want Orange Italy going into Montenegro. So this is the first contact with the Italians and the Macedonians, which are Northern Italians. So this is pretty awkward when they meet up, but they're going to discuss some things, some, I guess, like international relations, stuff like that. Sardinia gets a port in Egypt. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to treat these guys kind of like the Venice. You know how Venice had, like, a whole bunch of stuff throughout the Mediterranean, little port colonies. That's how this is going to work. So Venice is going to send out a boat. This boat is full of loyal people, not people that are like from the original Carthaginian nation where they broke away to form their own countries. They're loyal. So one of them is going to get all the way over here to Cyprus, where they discover the island and colonize it. They're going to also get a little bit over here into Turkey. They're all like these people these are like nationals. They're really nationalistic. So they're going to take a little bit of that territory. And this is not going to really act under the direct jurisdiction of the Sardinians, but they are going to act sort of autonomously, but still under the same nation. So here's how I will signify that. I'm going to make them a little bit of a lighter purple, but just know that these guys are part of Sardinia, technically. Technically. Alright. Yo, somebody recommended Orange Romans? That's crazy. Lavender Germany. I got you. We already have a lavender Greece, though. How would that work? All right, no, we're going to have a Germany. It's just not going to be what you expect. So, these guys up here in the Netherlands, they're going to be, like, really explorationists. So, they're going to explore all the way down here to Germany. They're going to get there. They're like, hey, it's pretty nice over here. So, also, this is the Great Northern European Plain. So, actually, I'm just going to discover all of this because Great Northern European Plain, I don't know geography. But after the big exploration, they are going to go ahead and call hiccups. But they are going to expand out here into Germany, and these guys are going to be very expansionist, sort of what the Carthaginians are going to become, but these guys are actually going to be able to keep it stable. These guys in France, however, are also going to be able to keep it stable. Thought it was going to collapse France. I would never collapse France. Yeah, wait. Damn it, bro. Green France. Even in my Wixo. Oh, wait, actually, never mind. Green France isn't here anymore. RIP. Well, they're still there in essence, just Western European Union. Dark orange Central Iberia. Isn't dark orange just like brown? Alright, we'll make a Central Iberia, but it will be after these guys take their leave. So, these guys expand along the Bay of Biscay into Central Iberia, so they're going to take that. The Carthaginians are actually going to, not the Carthaginians, the Moroccans. They're going to do something interesting. They're going to establish a vassal state. So this state is basically going to be under the direct rule of the Moroccans, but they're not going to be Moroccan. Now these guys are going to connect up with the brown team as well as the French. This is for trading purposes. So they're looking like that. But now we can have a country over here. And what color are we making this country? Where's your Germany? Alright, yeah, let's expand on that. The Netherlands is going to keep moving into Germany. Now, it might just seem like the Netherlands is going to take over all of Germany, but they're not. They're not! They're going to expand into Germany, yes. But then people in the government are going to realize that, hey, our political party, the one that we're supporting, isn't really paying us very fairly. Now, is currency a thing yet? Probably not. I don't know. But what the? Red Team Wixo, what are you talking about? Okay, is that Chinese? There's Chinese text, but in English it says Laser, Augusto, Altson, Red Team Wixo, Diddy Blood. Okay, don't translate that. Don't translate that for your well-being. But, like I was saying, the people in the government are just going to reform the government by making a new country. Now, of course, once these guys establish their home base, which is, I guess, it's like what I call it. Of course, the Seafoam Green people, like, the leader is executed. This is not the same country before this rebellion, so it might be the same color, but it is not the same country because they don't have the same leader. They had a government reform, but it was like a big government reform. So these guys, they are now Germany. Plot twist. Their capital is going to be over here. Boom. Now I think it's time that we fill in a little bit of territory just because. Now, okay. What color are we making Central Iberia? Spam what color you want Central Iberia to be. Why did you make the Dutch the sea? That's not the same color. You're saying that these are the same colors? Might need some glasses. Gray? Gold, gray, red. We already have a red guy. Alright, let's just try it out. Red, light red. I kind of like it. Might want to shift the hue a little bit. I actually like that. Let me turn down some of the... Perfect. Stop putting suggestions, because this is perfect. Could you put a capital city there? I don't know. I don't know. Dark purple Wales. You know what? A advanced species of civilization will arise out of Wales, and they are going to be native to the British Isles. They're not going to be explorers. They're going to be native. Dark purple whales. Now, they're going to be dead set on expanding their knowledge of all of this territory. And eventually, the dark green guys are going to get over here. They colonize Cornwall, and then a little bit more. And then they discover the existence of dark purple whales, and they're like, we're seeing a little bit of a dilemma. Do we want to work together, or do we want to kill them? Now, remember, we were a slave rebellion, so would it be hypocritical? Yes. Do they care? Actually, yes. So purple whales will be spared. Now we have our countries looking like this. Now, there is a lot of things that I have failed to elaborate on. But who cares? Because you guys are going to stick around. You all love me, right? Right? Right. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, I've failed. One of the biggest things I failed to elaborate on is the dictatorial aspect of the Carthaginian state. These guys are now going to rapidly expand their borders. They quickly become one of the largest countries. One of the largest, not the largest. I think the largest maybe goes to Catalonia or Rome. But these guys are going to start to discover the coast of Libya. They're going to go into sub-Saharan Africa. The Atlas Mountains are not here. They're like over here, I think. So actually, the Lime team. Their southern border needs an update. Now, am I going to put a story behind this? Hell no. They just expand, because countries expand. But the Carthaginians, you guys are going to be surprised when I say that they're expansionist. They're very expansionist. So they are going to make it a key incentive that they make an acquisition of all of this territory. They're also going to move along the Libyan coast. And the Carthaginians, they have their history books. They know their history, all right? So they are going to start to invade Morocco because they know that Morocco is technically a breakaway state of them. So they're going to be invading Morocco, and this military is absolutely just destroying the Moroccan military. Now, it's to the point where they're going to start to lose a grip on their country. So eventually, their country, they lose a grip on it, and their military is going to be demolished by the Carthaginians. But these guys are still here. And guess what they're going to do? Take a wild guess. They're going to become their own country. They're going to be light pink. Now, are they organized enough to have a capital? No. But will I give them a capital? Yes. Now, Carthage is going to siege the capital of the Moroccans, and they are going to have to, they're going to relocate their capital over here to southwestern, I guess, Portugal. And Carthage will be annexing all of this territory. So this is like the first big bloody war. Like, of course, there was a war over here in Sardinia. Interesting how these guys would interact with that. These guys are forced to come here, and they're actually forced to start taking territory from their vassal. Now, this is pretty embarrassing, but they just end up annexing it. But it does ensure one thing, and that's the survival of their nations. Let me read some of your guys' suggestions. Orange team invades Catalonia and wins because plot armor. And orange team invades Catalonia. Oh, you just spammed it twice. Alright, let's do that. The orange team, the Triangle Alliance, they are going to declare war on the Catalonians. Why? I don't know. They just are. So eventually, the Genoan country is going to be forced to coincide with the orange country because they don't want to get gobbled up because the orange team could easily just eat them. So they're going to let the orange team boats go along their waters and dock in their ports, and eventually a massive fleet of naval boats are going to be docked over here, combined with orange and purple forces in this city right there. There's a city here. And they're going to be landing on the coastline of Catalonia. There's also going to be a separate fleet that is sent out to take the Balearic Islands. This will be handled by the Sardinians. And eventually these guys, they have been focused on trying to assimilate their territory, not really organize their main territory. So eventually when the time comes to protect their capital, they can't protect it because, well, the king is actually over here. So once the orange team is able to siege some of their most like ancient territory, they're just going to keep going. And eventually, these guys, who I am going to change their color a little bit, are going to start to invade the Catalonians as well. Specifically cutting off the Lime team because they know that they want some territory here. And now it is just a big Catalonian gangbang. But the Catalonians aren't just going to go and die. They are going to formulate a peace treaty in which all parties will be mildly satisfied. So here's what the Treaty of, I guess, Galicia. They're going to organize a treaty in Galicia. This is the first formal peace treaty we've ever seen. And this is going to be one where Catalonia will be giving this territory to the pink team. They're going to be giving this territory to the Romans. They're also going to be giving this territory over to Sardinia. And there we go. Big war. Good stuff. Now, what happens now? Because there is a lot that we could do. So, should we start a new civilization? In a completely new area of the world? Should we? I don't know. Are we? Maybe. But that's not our goal right now. Here's what we're going to do. The Sardinians, they don't like the Sicilians. And the orange team also doesn't like the Sicilians. Let me iterate. This triangle belongs to the orange team. So, with these guys being expansionists, they're going to invade into the Sicilians. And that is going to go quite well. The orange team will be absolutely demolishing them. And as this country has just been absolutely wiped off, they will sink into the ocean. So, say goodbye to Sicily. Just kidding. There's going to be a treaty where the purple team will get this because that is where the big city is. And the rest will be an acquisition to the orange team. And these guys are becoming the big, bad expansionist people. So, that's not very good. But you want to know who else is expansionist? The red team, or the maroon Carthaginians. Now, are we going to be focusing on that now? No, we're not going to be focusing on that now. It's not something we need to focus on. Something we need to focus on is the development of the expansion in the Balkans. So, there we go. Whole bunch of people coming out here, doing their thing. They're also going to meet up with the Seafoam Green people. And look at that. Europe is now being very slowly discovered. Now the orange team is going to colonize this Adriatic sea coast. Not all of it because, well, the red team has their stuff here. Speaking of the red team, they are going to expand north. And when I mean north, they are going very far north. They are very expansionist, much like basically all of these countries are expansionist. But the red team in specific is very expansionist. So eventually, once the declaration of expansionism is over here in the red team, which is the first declaration of expansion of... I've been talking a lot. Marmara, discovered. Red team, jumping on top of that. So there we go. The Dutch and the Germans unite to become a monarchist, and the surname of the king... And the surname is the King of the Brown Country becomes Brown Dutch. And Germany unites to become part of that monarchist kingdom. The surname is the Brown Country. It's a good idea. These guys, screw their differences. You know what? Screw all that. Because you know what? Just to really accentuate the aspiration for Brown Netherlands. They unite. Easy as that. Look at that. How beautiful is it? I folded. But we got Brown Netherlands right there. Now dark green France. They haven't done much, so they're going to expand out into here. And there is actually going to be sort of a scramble for France. Now, one country that is really scrambling is the Catalonians, because the Catalonians are kind of falling off, kind of like my channel. So they're going to expand inland, and they're going to be taking this territory. But that is right before the orange team says hello. And the blue team gets deja vu. So they're going to stop. But eventually, all these countries that have been doing nothing been doing nothing for this past like couple of, I guess, decades, I guess it would be, are starting to finally do stuff. So there they go. Look at that. Europe is very slowly starting to be filled in. Let's see. Shadow Realm 7271. The Carthaginians and the Neapolitans meet up in the capital of Carthage to talk about the Triangle Alliance. Carthage joins the Triangle Alliance. Here's an issue with that. These guys, they don't have the same expansionism. The orange team and the purple team, their expansionism is sort of like reclaiming old land. Carthage is completely just unhinged expansionism. So they are not going to be admitted into the Triangle Alliance. But one country that will be admitted into the Triangle Alliance will be, drumroll please, the red team. The red team will be joining the Triangle Alliance. What? Alright, so this is what we see our everything looking like. It's looking pretty good. Let's see. Dark purple Cyprus. See, we already have a dark purple nation, but this is something I should elaborate on. So, remember, these guys are sort of like controlled by Sardinia, but not anymore, because Sardinia has lost their grip. So this Turkish area will be rebelling along with the Cyprus area. We're also going to see Egypt break away into its own thing. Now we see two new countries over here, which will be dead set on expanding into their respective areas. So the red team will be expanding into the Turkish areas. So they are going to be taking this territory. They're not organized enough to have a capital yet, but they are. You want to know who is going to be organized to have a capital? Egypt. Because they are really, really expanding their knowledge of everything very quickly. And while they're expanding their knowledge, they're also expanding themselves. So, there you go. Now, fast forward like 20 years maybe. They're now organized enough to have capitals. So, there you go. But now going to purple Athens. They are going to make it a key goal for them to take Western Anatolia. That is also a key goal for the red team. So, there is going to be, instead of a scramble for Turkey, there's going to be a treaty that is devised and none other than the capital of this brand new country. Now, this treaty is going to establish this line, which basically goes off the mountains and the rivers that are in the area, and the purple team is allowed to take stuff south of it. So the purple team will be taking this territory that's south of it, while the red team will be taking everything north of this line. So there we go, filling all that in. This is what we see it looking like. 101 Rotanimit. I botched that. $2. Thank you for the donation. Mediterranean Empire like Rome but Carthage. I can do that. Once again, thank you for the donation. But Carthage is going to be declaring war on the Triangle Alliance. Now, why are they doing this? Because their expansionism, like I said, is unhinged expansionism. So they are going to start by invading the Balearic Islands. That, of course, is them invading the purple team. So the alliance, the Triangle Alliance, will be declaring war on the Carthaginians. And now the slaughter can begin. The Carthaginians, their navy is some of the most advanced naval technology we have ever seen in the series. So Sardinia is going to have a very hard time defending against it, as Carthage is just absolutely demolishing these guys. Now they're also going to start to move into Sicily. And eventually, after the Sardinians are going to collapse, they are going to fall. And eventually, they're going to be fully annexed. Not even before the war's conclusion. They're going to kill the leader. They're going to kill the parliament, which might have existed if they left the country to become a democracy, which it probably would never have become that. But then Rome is like, yo, chill. But then the Carthaginians land in the boot, and they're like, yo, chill. And eventually they get to the capital, and they're like, okay, we'll give you like half of our country. And the Carthaginians accept. But they're also going to capture the capital. So now the Roman government is going to be forced to evacuate all of their parliamentary assets. They're going to move it all up here to northern Italy. Pretty ironic, but in the treaty of, I guess, the yellow Genoese country, which will be dividing up the orange team a little bit, the Carthaginians will be taking a lot of territory. Now, technically, the red team is still fighting. So the red team will actually be making it an incentive to land on the boot of Italy. And this is a pretty advanced military. Now, the Carthaginians and the Macedonians. Something you got to know about the Carthaginians and the Macedonians is that they have very similar ideologies. So they are actually going to be joining forces. That is right. In return for giving the territory back, the Macedonians and the Carthaginians will become allies. And now the Triangle Alliance has shifted from a purple and orange alliance to now a red and maroon alliance. Wow. Now these guys, they're pretty unstable. Like, they're very unstable. So they're going to be forced to let go this territory, which will become its own nation, will also have its own capital, all of that good stuff. Brown Netherlands goes north into Denmark, and they see Norway, but they try to go to it, but it's too far to Scotland. Okay, I actually kind of like that suggestion. So, what the suggestion was is that these guys are going to discover basically Jutland, Denmark, all that good stuff. They're going to get here to the Copenhagen areas. They're going to colonize it. Pretty standard stuff for, like, your average country, for this time at least. But eventually, they're going to try and get over here to Norway, which they successfully do. They're going to land a boat over here in the southern areas of Norway, but once these guys over here do not know the terrain, they are going to need some more supplies. So they're going to ask for some more supplies from the brown team, which they're going to get. But this is going to be where a hurricane hits a boat that is over here in the middle of the North Sea, and that is going to send their ship all discombobulated, and that is going to cause them to land in Iceland. Now, when they get to Iceland, they're like, hey, it's actually quite green. Because if you look at Iceland on a map, it's green! But that is beyond the fact that these guys have now settled in Iceland and became its own country. Not very realistic, of course, but who cares about realism? It's viewer Wixo. Also, by the way, British Isles update. They are going to be expanding the entire thing to their knowledge. And the Purple Welsh country is going to expand along the entire, island. They're going to take the central areas of England. Mashed potatoes are pretty good. But Green France is going to be colonizing the rest of the south. They're also going to be taking a little bit of Ireland. But the rest of Scotland is going to turn into an orange Scottish nation. Now, we already have an orange country, and that's a good point. So, light orange. Do we have a light orange country? I think so, maybe. But of course, they will need their capital. And this is what we see our map looking like. Pretty freaking interesting. Alright. Now, the fact that there are only 2 alliances is pretty unrealistic. So, 2 countries, which will be making an alliance. Oh, wait. Rome still owns this. Alright, you know what? It's going to be a coalition. The Carthaginians will be partnering up with the Central Iberians to invade the Roman claim in Iberia. Now, these guys want Rome out of their area, so they're going to invade into Catalonia, and this is going to be a very nationalistic moment for Carthage, because Carthage will easily be able to wipe it out. Basically, there's nobody here. Romans are just trying to focus on themselves. So in a treaty, this is what it looks like. Pretty good. Now we have our second alliance, which I did say was a coalition, but they'll be sticking around. Augusto, Carthage invade Rome. They already did. Over here in Morocco, these guys, they're not going to be, spared. Carthage is going to gobble them up. Now we have one less country. Carthage is an absolute sigma. But eventually, they are going to send out their exploration forces to meet up with the Egyptians, and this leads to the entire full discovery of the Mediterranean Sea, which is a pretty cool accomplishment for humanity. But at this point, Carthage is getting very large. They are now starting to move along the coastal areas of Libya, and now Egypt is going to make an incentive to expand to meet them. So, they are going to take a lot of territory along this area. They're also going to expand along this area. Egypt, looking pretty weird, pretty funky, but that's what we like. Looking over here. Screw it. You know what? I don't need a story behind everything. These guys are just going to expand because I feel like they should. Alright. Make a lime Indonesia. You see, civilization is only here, so why would there be a lime Indonesia? I think somebody is reminiscing alt-sins Wixo. But the French are going to colonize the rest of Ireland. But now humanity is going to become pretty interested in something. What's out there? Because if you go all the way this way, what's out here? If you go down, what's over here? What's all this? I don't know what this is. Maybe we should try and discover it. But we're not. The people of Sardinia get boats and travel to a place of my choice. Alright, bet. Sardinians striving to reclaim and re-elaborate the power of the Great Purple. People from Sardinia are going to go over here, land in Libya, and form the Purple Team. That's right. The Purple Team is back, and they're over here in Libya. Major plot twist. Oh my god. The Purple Team is back, baby. We love the Purple Team. Light Blue Sweden. Bet. Say hello to my little friend. Light Blue Sweden. So boom. Oh. Yo. Alright. The entire map is blue. Viewer Wixo over. Light Blue Sweden. And then we have discovered of the Nordics. Alright, let's see. Light Blue Sweden, everybody. Everybody wanted it. Maybe just one guy wanted it, and he Alright, we're also seeing suggestions for a yellow Sweden. So you know what? We're going to have rivaling Swedens. Two Swedens. We have a yellow Sweden and a blue Sweden. Of course, each one will have their own respective capital. The Dutch are also here for some reason. I don't know why. Because you guys are, like, obsessed with brown and Dutch. Here we are. Is what viewer Wixo is looking like right now. These guys, they are IKEA. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. You know Sweden? Like, you know what Sweden is? Well, you actually don't. You don't know what Sweden is. Sweden is not a thing. It is a figment. I think... It's just a part of our imagination. Yeah, we're doing this. There we go. So now I think we can go ahead and make some islands. What do you guys think? There we go. Sorry, I gotta lock in for this. So, you know, we're going to make a couple of islands because Sweden looked like it was getting a bit tense. So, we're just going to replace it with a couple of, you know, non-conspicuously shaped islands. My father texted me. All right. What am I doing, dude? All right. Yep. This is what we're working with. Also, remember the yellow and blue teams? They never left. They're still here. Perfect. We're also modifying the map. You can modify the map. I don't care anymore. Look, I did this. This is my contribution. We'll give it a couple of islands. Why not? Making a new island right there. Also maybe one. So we get that. All right. Dark red Poland. Bet. Boom. 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 Hello, dark red Poland. You have officially arrived. Rebellion and Carthage. These rebels are pro-orange team. Plot armor. I think I want Carthage to dominate for a bit longer, so... You know what? Just in spite of that... Goodbye, orange team. Hello, Carthage. Because you know what? Carthage is dominating right now. And why wouldn't they? They're very powerful. Orange team is gone. I don't know if anybody actually, like, cares about these nations, but if you were wondering, they are gone. Alright, I want some suggestions that change the shape of the map. Because I feel like that's pretty funny. It's like IKEA is colonizing Sweden. Isn't that just comedy? Let's see. Western Europe makes an alliance in fear of Carthage. That's just going to become... The Circle Alliance is going to become the anti-Carthaginian expansion alliance. So that is going to consist of these nations. Not this guy, though. But this is the anti-Carthaginian expansion alliance. The Carthaginians just don't care. Because you want to know who didn't join that alliance? Purple Libya. Goodbye, Purple Libya. And hello, bigger Carthage. Now, Carthage is also going to start to expand down the coast of Morocco. Because they're Carthage. Of course they're going to expand down Morocco. Carthage was in Morocco, kind of. So, boom, boom. There we go. Alright, guys. Make a lake shaped like the old empire. Sure. So let's go to episode right there. Hello, old empire. You are coming with me. Is that all of it? Yep. How big is the old? Oh my god, it's massive. Gotta size that down a little bit. So, boom. This would suck if I had to outline all of it. So what am I gonna do instead? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be lazy. And I'm gonna erase. Actually, the most recognizable part of the old empire is its, claims. So you know what? Yeah, babies. What have I been waiting for? That's what it's all about. Woo! That is a terrible drawing of Italy, but who cares, dude? We have lost it. We are not doing anything valuable anymore. This is not thought-provoking. This is not worth time. But it's going to happen. I think I have a faster way I can do this. I definitely have a faster way I can do this. Watch this. Big brain mode. Big brain mode activated. Holy moly, dude, I'm a genius. Now look. But oh no. Alright, wait. Just give me a quick second. I think we are... Yep. Whoever asked for a lake shaped like the old empire, there you go. Alright. Like I said, anything. Anything. Put a huge lake in the Sahara Desert? Sure. Now, if I were a normie, I would design this lake very generically. But I'm not no normie. So we're going to make a big lake. But this is also going to change the scape for Carthage. Because Carthage, this is the area they reside in. So that means that with the addition of this lake, boom. Oh, what the? Okay. With the addition of this lake, and also a couple of surrounding lakes, this is going to make the climate of the Sahara a lot better for life. So once it's better for life, there are going to be people that want to come down here. So these people are going to colonize the areas by the lake. And eventually, once the people discover it, Carthage can get to expanding, baby. Look at that. Real Dragon 21, please stop spamming. How many people are in stream right now? 22. Alright. Anybody that just arrived, basically we're doing viewer Wixo, but you can literally ask for anything. For example, IKEA Islands, Sahara Lake, Old Empire Lake. Doesn't fucking matter. Augusto Macedonia invades Greece to fully annex, to not be weaker than Carthage. Yeah, so Carthage is kind of showing up Macedonia, so they're just going to show up Carthage a little bit by invading these guys. Becoming the true Greeks. We don't have a blue country. Alright. Oh wait, yes we do. Every country in the world coalition against Carthage. No. Carthage is Carthage is more powerful than all of these countries combined. But the person that said Blue Arabia, I got you. Is there bias? Is there bias here? No. Alright, you know what? They're just going to discover Arabia. You wanna know why? Because we're making a massive Arabian country. Because, why not? Egypt is also going to become massive themselves. Because the entire world at this point has been infected with a plague. The plague of becoming a massive-ass country. So, these blue people have it like the worst. Oh yeah, I guess this is the Arabian Caliphate, by the way. The purple team rebel and becomes Greater Sardinia. Bet. People up here don't like Carthage. Carthage doesn't like them. They're going to try and break away from Carthage. Why would Carthage let them do that? There's going to be a big massacre over here. Also, screw the Alps. The Alps don't exist. Like, I know people ski there. The dog sledding and... Could not use the clone stamp because the area to clone has not been set. Use control click. Shut up! Green France, baby. Gotta love Green France. Ooh, fire. Guest 72943. Thank you for the 2.5 euros. Carthage collapses and Dutch gets episode 99 borders. Since you donated in euros. I like euros. You know what? I can't exactly transfer the episode 99 borders of these guys. Excuse me. But I can just make these guys really big. So you know what? They are just going to expand massively. They're going to embody the Dutch from episode 99, but they're not going to have the exact same borders. Wait, don't. I'm going to assume you mean don't destroy Carthage, which I am happy to do. Carthage expands more, by the way. Didn't know if you guys were expecting that. But anyways, thank you again for the donation. Let them discover America. Bet. You want to know who's going to be discovering America? This random ass brown country. But you want to know how they're going to be doing it? Well, the lime team is invading them. The pink team is also invading them. And it turns out a big gangbang has been orchestrated over here against the brown team. So, once the pink team is able to absolutely demolish them and devise a peace treaty to just kill the brown team. There we go. Please go away. Thank you. The monarch and the group of like brown team civilians, they're going to go across the water and their boat is going to go everywhere. It's just going to go all in these islands and it's going to land over here in Florida. So yes, the brown team will be living on inside of Florida. So, like, remember that Iberian country I was just talking about? Yeah, this is them, kind of. Now the pink guys. Let me tell you something about the pink dudes. Who is texting me? How did you guys like the new What If Civilization Started Over? Episode 56. It's pretty impressive. Not impressive. Pretty cool. Carthage collapse. Alright. I thought you meant that you didn't want the Dutch to get their episode 99 borders. Sorry. Carthage will collapse. Alright. It's going to start over here. Remember that big massacre that happened with the Sardinians? Well, the people aren't going to like that. So, Sardinia will make themselves reappear as well as Orange Italy because, yes. Then the Lime team is going to start to invade in the west. And the Carthaginian military, they're not here anymore. So, Carthage, you're kind of collapsing. Sardinia is going to get a big old chunk of your Numidian areas. And you are going to split in half. There's going to be a light maroon area over here. And this government will be replaced by the original Carthaginian government. So, Carthage is collapsed. They're going to put their capital back to where it used to be. Libya will have their capital here. These guys, their capital will be put right there where it used to be. These guys right here in their historical city. And the red team should have come to the aid of Carthage, but they didn't. Yeah, baby. No more Carthage. Orange team and purple team unite. Bet. Boom, boom. That also means boom, which is pretty good. They also get Balearic Islands, because why not? Alright, you know what I think we should do? I think we should have something where you guys edit the... Alright. Start a poll. Alright, I just sent out a poll. Well, do you guys want more viewer Wixo, or do you want to edit the map of episode 100? Yo. 101 Rotanimite. Thank you so much for the $2. Caliphate takes over. These guys? Boom. No. They will be taking a lot of territory, though. There they go. What the hell? What? Alright, the Caliphate expands. Look at that. Alright, so it looks like with a whopping 13 votes. 62% of you. 50. Whoa. Alright, I'll let the poll marinate for a little bit longer. Old Empire. What's an old empire? I don't know what the old empire is. What, this? Also, screw this lake. The old empire needs to dominate. They need to be the only lake in this area. So, boom. Can also make it bigger. That's good. Alright, we'll stay doing viewer Wixo. Low-key might hang up the recording soon, though, because I'm starting to get pretty tired. And I have school off tomorrow. And I also want to record a video. But I might hang up the recording soon. Croatia gets Polandized. Wait. Polandized. Oh, Poland. I can do that. Watch this big brain. Big brain strategy. Croatia, I apologize. There we go. There we go. I think if we do something like this, hold up. Croatia is still going to be here. They're just not going to be Croatia. Hold up, let me cook. Let me cook. All right, that worked. Orange team unites with Genoa. Sure. Goodbye, Genoa. Orange team has made a surprising comeback. You won't believe it, but the Sardinians migrate to Canada. Okay. There you go, Sardinia. You are now in one of the worst places in the world. Bloody Canada. Kill. Look at us. We're making life here. Beautiful life. Disturbing life. And also, maybe, art. Dark Green France expands relations, while meanwhile they expand their tech and economy and military, mainly focusing on themselves. Top 10 and ideology map. I'll give you the top 10. I'll give you the top strongest country. All of these countries are pretty much monarchies, except for the orange team and the blue team. Those are aristocracies. But the strongest country is obviously the blue team. I mean, look at them. They're freaking huge. These guys are going to have a pretty big rebellion inside them. That's going to be down here. And this rebellion is actually going to be a peaceful split. It's kind of like when Czechoslovakia divided themselves up. So this area, this very big area, will be getting its independence away from the caliphate. Sort of becoming like a Yemen. Here's what's going to happen. The Dutch are going to move up here into Norway. They invade these areas because they want to. Cool. Lavender Mesopotamia. Okay. Boom. Lavender Mesopotamia. Oh yeah, actually little BT dubs. They're also going to be freaking huge. I feel like countries in early history rose up and fell really quickly. The Circle Alliance shit their pants because the Orange team is back and they all unite except Morocco. Would it be sort of like a Western European Union? Would it be sort of like a Western European Union? Is that what you're... Is that what you might be saying? Because if you are, then you'd be correct. Because to me, it kind of seems like it's a Western European Union. Anyways, they're also going to be uniting with these guys. There we go. Dark green France does want to be in this. Hush, little baby, don't wail. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. Oh yeah, these guys. We gotta do a little update on these guys. They would all probably die, realistically, but in this scenario, they will not. They will establish themselves Floridian, which is very good. Suddenly, Greece goes on a rampage, invading the Cyprus country and the little Serbian country and Egypt. They're not going to invade Serbia because, well, they're Polonized, and this is beautiful. We're not getting rid of this. But I will let them invade Cyprus and take the rest of Anatolia. Here, let's make some border gore. This belongs to the Dutch. You wanna know what else? This belongs to the red team. The Dutch and the red team wanted a border. No. So this is what their border looks like. Get rid of Poland, that's what their countries look like. The Bay of Biscay becomes a bottomless void. I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm pretty sure other than the French, nobody cares about that place, so. Unless if you do, then I'm eternally sorry, but. So let's go ahead and maybe clean this up a little bit. It is now a void. I'm going to put a big old B for Biscay. A little smiley face. The Canadians go to colonize Greenland. Okay. Very nice. Also, Greenland is fully discovered. They just lock in, okay? Alright. This is... Iceland becomes 6-7. I love it. We're doing that. So, Iceland, your population will temporarily be eviscerated in the means for something greater. Watch, big brain mode activated. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Tolerance is really low. There we go. Got our islands. Oh, yeah, by the way, Iceland is back. Of course, they will want their capital. We'll put it at the hem of the 6. Nice. Russia sinks. Sure. Wait, can I do that on this map? It's not the same projection. Is it? Wait, is it? Might be the same projection. Oh, yes. It's the same projection. Watch this. You're about to see greatness. Goodbye, Russia. This also creates some islands, so. Goodbye, Russia. This isn't viewer Wixo anymore. This is something else. Not quite sure. But it does not matter because Russia has not gone bye-bye. So with this comes a lot of questions like, will there be an economic devastation? No, nobody lived in Russia. Nobody knows this even happened. But, oh crap, wait. It's alright. There you go. A lot of areas are going to be... There would actually probably be an insurrection of lands because all of these areas would need some of the water to come from somewhere. But who cares about that? Because right now, we are focused on locking in. Discovering territory where there isn't any Russia. So, I think this is good. I think we did a good job. I think we're good. Can we bring back Iceland? Okay. Hello, Iceland. You're not going to be, alone. 6-7's still going to be there. She's going to be colonized by it. You know what? Also, hello, New Zealand. Everyone say hello to the newest recruit. They'll be divided among the purples and pinks. Alright, I think I'm going to be putting the fries in the bag because this live stream is starting to get pretty long. And I have a life. No, I don't. That's a lie. But I hate to digress. Thank you, guys. This was actually pretty fun. I like this. Save this. Alright, we'll save this as something new. Alright, I saved it. It's still there on my desktop. But I will see you guys in the next video, which comes out. When does the next video come out? April 15th. Actually, I don't want to say goodbye just yet. I don't want to say goodbye. My camera's a little strange. Alright. For all you W's that stuck around after I said goodbye, we're doing a Q&A, baby. We always end live streams with a Q&A. So, let's do some Q&As. Goodbye, Augusto. No, goodbye, Shadow Realm. Goodbye, Shadow Realm 7271. Thank you for joining the live stream. But we're going to be doing a very, very brief Q&A. Can we see my mom? No. No, you cannot. What is my opinion on the old empire? I think it worked well. The Shadow Realm, what is your question? Yo. Can I do a dance? No. No. Can we get a super large empire in Wixo like Mongols but Indian Ocean? What? I'll give you a Q&A question. What do you think of my upcoming teaser video? Wait. What do you think my upcoming teaser video on my channel will be? Hopefully Wixo, dude. You gotta make some long forms, my boy. Alright, I think I want this live stream to be exactly 2 hours. Ooh, look at this. That's pretty weird. Alright, everyone count it down with me. Ending the stream in 10. Stream is exactly 2 hours.